We're back at it again with Blown to Bits, the podcast where we talk about video games, nerdy stuff, and sometimes other things as well. We're not limited to much. It's season 2 after all.
We don't discriminate.
Hi, I'm Charlie. No discrimination here. We're an equal opportunity podcast. My name is Charlie, and I'm joined here with
Ryan
and
Adam.
Woo! I just want to say very happy belated Groundhog's Day to everybody.
and happy birthday, Charlie.
Oh, thank you very much. Just so happens to be my birthday as well.
Is it today?
I
thought it was...
It was Saturday.
Oh, okay.
It was Saturday, February 2nd. Puxatawny Phil from Puxatawny, Pennsylvania, did not see a shadow. And so that means an early spring for everybody around the world.
I mean, it already feels like it.
Yeah.
I was outside in a t-shirt sweating.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
was
high
really warm
60s.
here today, too.
It's nuts. Well, that's Texas. You're crazy over there anyways.
It's always warm.
It's always warm in Texas.
Dude, it's like back and forth. Like, next week we'll probably have like 22-degree weather all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that winter's not over here.
Probably not.
It was such a mild winter.
No, we're going to enjoy some very temperate weather for a little bit, but, it's just probably going to go right back to being cold.
I'm really happy that my heater's turned off and my electric bill is going to be like, $40 lower.
Saving on utilities. We love it. Mm-hmm. Trying to be thrifty and energy efficient.
Dude, I spend
With
a
all
lot
these
more on
lights and
electricity when I have to run the air conditioner instead of the heater.
I just like that time of the year. It's like twice a year where you just open all the windows.
Yeah, fresh air, circulation. Feels good.
Get that kid stank out.
What have you been guys been up to past week?
What have you been guys doing?
Guys been doing what? Hi, next
My
week?
name is Charlie, and I can count all the way to potato.
Hey, I can introduce the podcast. You don't let me go after that. Just,
I took 2 of my kids hiking, and we got up at 5 o'clock on Sunday morning.
ooh.
Headed out to Cates Cove. Was there by like 6:30, waiting on the sunrise.
That's nice. How are
It
the
was a lot of
graphics?
fun. They were beautiful. Took a bunch of pictures. Had a little photo shoot.
Was it
Nice.
60 frames per second or higher?
It was unlimited.
Anti-aliasing. You have
The
those God
storyline,
rays coming in.
The storyline kind of sucked, though.
Did it boot up nicely? Did your kids get out of bed and up and out at a reasonable rate?
I was only expecting to take one, my 4-year-old. She was all excited about it. I didn't even ask my 11-year-old because he always sleeps till, noon or later on the weekends. And when he found out we were going, he's like, I want to go too.
Sweet.
So he went to bed early and got up early, and we headed out there and went on a hike, saw a waterfall, and there's like over 40 deer out in the morning.
Nice.
Just grazing. A bunch of turkeys ran in the road, and my 4-year-old rolled down the window, and she thought it was really cool because we were up in the woods going like 10, 15 miles an hour, so I didn't make her buckle. So she was leaning outside the van window, yelling, "Turkey! Turkey!" And every time she would yell, they would gobble back at her. She just cracked up, thought that was the greatest thing ever.
Awesome.
That's funny.
Had a conversation with turkeys.
But yeah, we ended up spending about 6-7 hours up in the mountains before we came back home, and everybody took a nap. I tried playing some video games, and I ended up falling asleep while I was playing, and I woke up and I was like running into a wall.
Well, I haven't gone outside or anything, but I've been playing, since yesterday I started playing that new Apex Legends that came out, the secret Titanfall game that's not really Titanfall or whatever. It's pretty great.
I downloaded it today. I was home for like an hour, and I played the tutorial. I didn't get to play any matches or anything, but the gameplay, it felt really solid.
It is. It's really good. I was kind of shocked at how well they kept it a secret. Like, nobody leaked it, anything. Like, it was just a total blindside surprise. They were like, hey, here's this game. It's out today. Massive budget on it, by the way.
What company brings that to us? Have they done
EA.
something? It's an EA game.
Well, EA publishes it, but Respawn Entertainment, the people that make Titanfall, made it. because it takes
okay.
It takes place in the Titanfall universe. You're not playing as like the pilots and the Titans or anything like that, but it takes place as people that live in the same universe that all that's happening in. It's really cool.
What's the game mode? Is it Battle Royale?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It had like the graphics had a mix between like Borderlands and Team Fortress 2 kind of feel to it.
That's what my wife
not
said.
Not quite cartoony, but you know, borderline, you know, almost fantastical.
Overwatchy.
To a degree is what it looks like. I managed to watch a little bit of it, people playing online, and it's downloading for me right now. But yeah, like the class system kind of seems like it kind of looked like Borderlands, but like Rainbow Six Siege kind of.
It was more Rainbow Six Siege kind of going on from what I've played so far. But the coolest thing about it is they got rid of something that really bothered me about Battle Royales, where, say, if I die early, I'm out of the game permanently in other Battle Royales. Well, in this one, they have these respawn stations that are kind of peppered throughout the map, and you can go to those, like, say me and you are playing together, me, you, and Charlie are playing together, and both of y'all died or something. I can go over to your box and pull off your little emblem of your box and carry it around with me, and then I go up to a respawn station, and it takes, like, 10 or 15 seconds of me sitting there, but I can call you guys back down from a drop ship and get you back in the game.
Okay. So, like, if you're, like, all of your other squad is, like, eliminated, like, near the very beginning, but you're still going strong, there's still a hope? A glimmer
yes, there's
of hope
still
that you could...
there's still a chance.
Okay.
Sounds like a good place for a camping sniper to set up.
That's what I've been doing. I'll kind of, wherever I tend to wait inside the circle, I like to wait close to one of those respawn stations, because I can either pick off somebody that's trying to revive teammates, or I can revive my teammates if something goes really wrong.
Okay.
But
That sounds like...
It's a lot of fun. Oh, dude, it's great. It plays really well. The shooting isn't as, like... You know how in Call of Duty all the guns are like laser guns? Like, they're so accurate? Well, in this game, you really have to manage your recoil and be careful. Like, burst fire and, because you'll just end up spraying all over the place if you don't pay attention to what you're doing. And I like that about this one.
Does it feel similar to what the guns in Titanfall felt like?
Mm-hmm. Now, most of the guns in the game are the ones from Titanfall, like the Mozambique, the Flatline, the R's in there. It's all pretty much all the basic Titanfall guns are there. Plus, I think there's a couple that I've not heard of or don't recall being in Titanfall, so I think they added a few.
All right. Yeah, I'm not acquainted with Titanfall at all, so like everything that I saw from this game was like, very fresh and new for me.
Titanfall 2 was... It hit a bad spot on its release date, and it didn't get the credit it deserved. It fell right in between... it was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Was that it? Or Infinite Warfare?
It was Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare, and then
Battlefield
1. Which, Call of Duty and Battlefield are like the two big, blockbusters.
It's a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. And it didn't take off the way it should have, but I think it was better than both of them.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Leaps and bounds better.
I still go back and play it every now and then. It's a fun game.
Kyle, last night, we were in a party, and he was talking about buying Titanfall 2 because he wants to play it. And I told him if he wants to play it, that you and I would play with him. I'd love to do some Frontier Defense.
It's cheap now. I mean, you can find it on sale for like $15.
Is there still a strong scene with it, too? Or
Strong enough to get games, yeah.
Right.
But the only downside is a lot of the players that are still left, you'll run into games where you'll have somebody that's so incredibly good at the game that they can make it kind of hard to get acclimated to or, like, get used to it again. Like, because Ryan will tell you, I used to be nasty good as a pilot. Like, I was okay at Titan, but as a pilot, I was just balls to the wall, crazy good at it. And I hopped back in, and there was just this one guy that was just mopping the floor with me in the first match, like just destroying me.
welcome back.
Yeah.
See, I think that's one of the reasons I like Titanfall so much is when it comes to Call of Duty and Battlefield, I'm an average player. Mm-hmm. But with Titanfall, I was really good at it.
Okay.
You were really good, especially at the Titan battles.
Mm-hmm. I miss it. I might have to go download it again.
Is it on my account or yours?
I don't know. I think it's on mine.
Yeah, I think it's on yours. Well, I might go ahead and download that again tonight, just to go ahead and have it.
I'm not going to be on the PlayStation, so you can log into my account and download it tonight.
Sweet. But yeah, that game is boatloads and boatloads of fun. Plus, it's EA, so all the DLC maps, like anything gameplay related, is free.
Like all-inclusive once you get it.
Yeah, there was also the Anthem demo. There's 2 Anthem demos actually. I only played the second one. I heard the first one just kind of flopped.
It sucked. I couldn't hardly play it.
Yeah, like people couldn't connect to it. There was like endless loading screens.
What was the difference between the 2 demos other than like one was released first, I guess?
I don't know because I didn't play the first one.
Okay. Nothing really. It was just the second one was open to everybody, and there was a patch in between them that fixed a lot of issues from the first one.
Okay, yeah, there was like a VIP demo or something first, right?
Yeah.
Leading up to the demo, I was starting to get pretty worried about the game. There's a lot of negativity surrounding it, not just because of EA, but everybody talks, but then a lot of times like the talk is real. Like Star Wars Battlefront 2 like did not live up to the hype. It was fun for like 2 weeks and then
that was it. A flash in the pan.
But after playing the Anthem demo, when it was over, I actually missed it.
Okay.
I was like, the day after, I was like, man, I could really play that. I
want to play that again. Okay.
Yeah.
So mission accomplished for the demo at least. That comes out the 20-something?
This month.
22nd.
At least. 22nd.
That's right. Oh, yeah, because I asked for the day off of work. I submitted a vacation request form.
Oh, nice. Get
now,
those levels.
I did have a major gripe, and it kind of leads into something that I have a problem with the gaming industry. First of all, we're really jaded, like Ryan was saying. Like everyone's talking shit about a lot of things now. And I understand, we've been burned before, but you gotta have some sort of hope, or otherwise you're not gonna have any fun with anything. But Ryan and I both noticed this: the game attempts to run at a good 30 frames per second on console, and it runs at 30, but the frame pacing and some of the stuff is kind of off, so it looks a little jittery, and you get used to it. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. You definitely get used to it, and it's more than playable. But it's one of the best looking PS4 games I've ever played. But that kind of leads me to the fact that I wish developers would stop assuming that we want our games to look that good and run that bad.
Right.
Yeah, when I first booted it up, I thought it looked atrocious. I was like, this is running at like 10 frames per second. What's up with this? I did end up turning the motion blur off, which helped a little bit. But still, like, come on. Give me more frame rates.
Yeah.
I don't need to see every blade of grass.
over visuals any day.
I would, it's like with Monster Hunter. With Monster Hunter, at the beginning, you get to choose like performance, resolution, or graphics. Like, always go for
performance, definitely.
Give me that 60 frames. Give me that 144.
Yeah.
Please.
I want to show if I want to show a game off, I'll do, graphics, but, play through wise.
Yeah. Dude, if the PS5 does not have at least 120 frames per second, like, it should have 144 frames per second. If it does not, I'm going to be so pissed when I pay them for it.
I think the PlayStation 5 is going to support DisplayPort plugins for FreeSync and high refresh rates and things like that.
By the time it's out, it should, at least, because it's going to be at least another year and a half or two, right?
I don't think it's going to to be that. Maybe a year.
It's not 2019, that's for sure. It's 2020.
I wouldn't be shocked if it released it at the end of this year. I would not
I
be
have a feeling
surprised.
it's going to come out this November.
I thought Xbox was on track to release a console before PlayStation was going to.
That's why I think it's going to come out.
Okay. All right.
And then I actually looked up all the release dates for Xbox and PlayStations, like all the different generations, and almost all of them come out in November.
Okay.
So I think it'll be this November, because if Xbox comes out with a Xbox this year in November, and then PlayStation doesn't do it for another year, I mean, it's going to ruin PlayStation. They've got to release within like a month of each other.
Yeah, to have that healthy share of the market. Because I mean, I wouldn't switch over to the new Xbox. I just wouldn't. You know, it would take an act of God. They'd have to do something so incredible to get me back. You know, just because I'm so invested in PlayStation now. But the thing is, when you really look at how they've always done their releases, Xbox has come out first typically. But PlayStation has waited just like a month or two, and they've always come out, you know, directly after them. And plus, the PlayStation 5 development kits are already in the developers' hands.
This is true.
I mean, they've at least, for the most part, have to have finalized, you know, hardware that's on the inside. Because you can't develop for something and then have them change it, you know, and be like, oh, we're not actually going to put that in there. It's like, motherfucker, I just made a whole game based on you putting that in there.
No, the PlayStation 5 is done.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of manufacturing it now.
Okay. Well, I mean, you have to have like people that are developing the games for it, and to have at least a quality like launch title, there's got to be like, especially with the games nowadays, like first party titles, like a year is just the bare minimum.
We'll get
for
some kind of
like
racing game.
Well, here's the thing. I think we've
like
all
the answer to Forza.
Oh, I don't know what the name of it was. I know what you're talking about, though. But here's the thing. I think we've already seen PlayStation 5 games running. I think The Last of Us 2, I would not be shocked if that was running on, you know, some sort of hybrid of a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 hardware. And then I am almost 80% certain that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be a PlayStation 5, PS4 cross title.
Yeah, or Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, yeah.
Right?
Talking about it for like 27 years.
So I think there's definitely games that are already, because the way modern hardware works, these games can be made for both systems and they can function, you know, on both of them. It's just going to run and look so much better on the next generation system than it will on the previous generation.
Yeah, that's just like PS4 and PS4 Pros. I mean, they play the same game, but they look like night and day.
Yeah, this is very true.
Yeah, and I mean, and there's word around the rumor mill that the PlayStation 5 is going to be fully backwards compatible with, you know, PlayStation 4 at least. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they pulled some crazy hat out of the bag and was just like, hey, you can put your PS3 games in here too now. You're welcome, you know.
I feel like they're going to try to keep that subscription-based gaming thing going on.
Right.
That's true.
How many people out there still own physical copies of their PS3 games?
A lot.
I have a number of them. Yeah. I probably shouldn't, but, you know, I do. I lent a couple of them out because, you know, I don't use them, but...
Plus, you can get them on the cheap at, like, GameStop and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still some solid gold gems out there for PS3.
I own 0 physical copies of any game.
You've moved purely digital.
Purely digital.
I have one physical game that I bought when it came out for my wife because we had 2 PS4s at that time. It's Ni no Kuni 2, Wrath of the White Witch, or whatever. Yeah, that or Revenant Kingdom. That's what it's called. Wrath of the White Witch was the first one.
The first one.
Ni no Kuni 2 is. I bought that for her, and I haven't even played that, but it looks fantastic. I mean, it's a Miyazaki animated game. I should probably play it, but
it's got to be super pretty and super cute. So I mean, that's Miyazaki right there.
Yeah.
My daughter, she has Ark Survival Evolved. She has a physical copy of that just because she likes to use my PlayStation upstairs because I have PlayStation Now or Live or whatever it's called.
Plus.
Yeah. It's not down on hers right now.
Okay.
I promised I'd buy her a year subscription with my tax return.
Yeah, I miss the days of cartridges, and I mean that's one reason why I like the Switch, because they still use those. But just the old collections, like you had to pull out like a drawer in your entertainment system.
That's how you
just lined with Nintendo cartridges.
You just impressed your friends.
Exactly. It's like I'm gonna come over and for a sleepover, and I'll bring my Nintendo and games, and like you had like a fucking luggage case of like cartridges that you'd brought over.
Dude, all my N64 games, I run them all because I wrote the names of the games in Sharpie on the top because I had so many. I didn't want to like have to flip through all of them like a Rolex or index cards. So I just wrote them on the top so I could just grab them.
Yeah, function over form, man. Just like you're looking for, the performance aspect of it.
Completely run the value of them, but
we didn't know any better back then.
I think that you should.
This was only like a few years ago.
Oh shit!
Well, I think that one thing that I really miss was with cartridges and disc-based games, you could swap with other people, and I really feel like you should be able to do that digitally. You know what I mean? I don't see any reason why you should not be able to. Like, say I have a game digitally that I've played all the way through and you want it, and you have a game digitally that you played all the way through and I want it, we should be able to swap those between accounts.
Yeah, like a trade or...
perfect world.
Right,
Yeah.
that would be... Like, here, I'll give you the license for this game that I bought, and,
Yeah, and I could understand if maybe, like, you can only do that once per game. A game can't be traded all around constantly.
There would have to be limitations for it.
Or maybe a limit on your account, like you can only trade like one game per month.
Yeah, something like that.
Right? Especially if you're maybe part of a subscription service or like, the PlayStation Plus or Xbox Gold Live, Platinum, whatever they call it nowadays.
Or maybe even just let somebody demo it. Like, I could let you borrow the license for my game for like 3 days so that you could play it for a few days, just something similar in any
in hopes
way,
that they would purchase it later or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, this game has already been bought, especially if it's like a physical copy. Then I don't know.
That's why I
Or a
don't
digital
feel bad
copy.
about sometimes downloading movies from places I shouldn't. Because I've already bought the movie, I've already paid money to see it in theaters. Like, I've got the Star Wars trilogy up there, but I still, pirated onto my computer so I can watch it on my computer.
Yeah.
Like, my computer does not have a CD drive. What am I going to play a DVD on,
How am I going to do this?
Yeah, that does suck when we're moving into the fully digital era, and I'm all about it. I really am. Like, I think the benefits of going fully digital heavily outweigh the cons. But at the same respect, there are things I'm always going to miss about the physical media, and like Charlie was saying, there was nothing fucking cooler than going to high school and everybody, like me and my nerd friends, we would meet up in the library after school and we each had a little pack and we would just unzip them and open them up and we had like 20, 30 Game Boy Advance games each, and we all had our link cables playing games,
Dude, I remember in high school going over to your house and like sitting on your bed and you had that big, huge CD book just full of Dreamcast games.
Yeah.
And just kind of flipping through that, just kind of figuring out what we were going to play that day.
Yeah, dude, that was the best. The Dreamcast, I think I had more fun with... There goes my phone. I didn't silence it. I'm a dick. I had more fun with the Dreamcast as far as home consoles go than I did with any other console ever.
I think 64 was my jam.
I had a lot of fun with
Right,
64,
Charlie.
but my
You were like original NES, weren't you?
Yeah, like original NES is like I had such a good time with that. Like
You still have a good time with that.
Yeah, most definitely. The Super Nintendo I owned. I never owned a 64 like in my house. So I've just always been itching and yearning just to like sit and like play through a lot of those classics, rather than just like, you know, a weekend trip to my friend's house or like a neighborhood across the street that I would play with.
Dude,
so
nothing is more fun than getting blazed out of your mind and playing Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon Snap is one of the best N64 games ever released.
There's got to be a remake, or like there's got to be a spiritual sequel to Pokemon Snap or something, right?
They have tried to remake it, but
once Nintendo makes a VR headset, Pokemon Snap's gonna be one of them.
Legit, yes, that would be perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it just makes sense for that. But who knows when Nintendo would ever make a VR system?
Well, you know those times when you smoke a little too much,
right?
And you kind of melt into the couch. A little bit of drool's coming out the side of your mouth.
Yeah, you can't feel your legs.
That's when you play Pokemon Snap.
Gotta hit that fucking Pokemon in the face with like 20 apples when you go by him.
Fuck you, Pikachu. Eat some more apples. Do your Thunderbolt move and I'll get a perfect 100 score on that photo. Thanks, Professor Oak. He's a professor of Pokemon. Who makes him like a photography expert? That's what I want to know.
He's him a doctorate in Pokemon.
He's dabbling in new sciences. He can do that. He can take a break from Ash's mom.
You're not my real dad.
You're not my real dad.
But I think that's all we got time for today. Just want to... If I'm talking a little funny, by the way, everyone, it's because I had oral surgery on Friday. So...
I'm sorry you broke up. All I heard was the first word of that.
I had oral surgery on Friday. And I'm missing 4 teeth now.
Ooh.
That was some rough oral.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some... I had oral
one
on
of the
Friday.
heavier sessions of oral.
No,
are you feeling better, though?
It hurts really bad, especially the past couple days. But
yeah.
my
recovery is always the worst.
Yeah, my mouth's really swollen right now.
Boo.
From all that oral.
All that oral.
But I just want to thank all you guys for tuning in to hear me with a lisp. And we really appreciate y'all listening. And you can find me on Twitter at Talleon. That's at TALLEEON. And Charlie, Ryan, where can y'all be found?
You can find me at shunt_trip on Twitter and the same moniker at SoundCloud. And I will be recording a couple new songs tonight, so keep your eyes out, ears out, face out. Yeah. And Ryan?
You can find me on Instagram at RTLTC. If you go over there, you can see all the photos we took at the waterfall this weekend. We want to thank Daniel for being our sponsor.
Dan!
Woo! Paying the bills. We're going to retire off of his money. And we've also got a Twitter that nobody ever goes to or checks on.
I go.
At Blown to Bits PC.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Stole your thunder. Okay, bye.